I'm a counselor who works exclusively with children, parents, and sometimes teachers. And if there is one thing that I see very commonly in my office, it is parents who come with this attitude of please fix my child. Okay, so when I try to talk to the parents, when I try to ask them more questions, when I try to figure out what is going at home, like uh, what the dynamic is like between them and their child, they are not that willing to answer those questions. A lot of the times they don't really know how to respond or how to answer what I'm asking, and we have to spend a lot of time figuring these things out. And then the parents get impatient, and they're like the problem is with the kid. Can you please fix the kid? Like, talk to him, do something, give him some therapy or something, and just fix him, because he's the one causing all the problems at home. And this kind of attitude I see very commonly, like even in other people, people who don't really come for counseling or therapy, which is like they see a lot of flaws in their children and they just want all those flaws to disappear. But then if you ask the parent about the child, okay, so you're saying that your child does this kind of thing. When does he do it? Or like what usually causes this kind of thing? What usually happens before this happens? What happens when that behavior that child has already shown? What do you do after that? So there are a lot of questions we need to ask to figure out why the child is doing what he's doing, and a lot of the time parents don't know. So that has led me to believe that the problem with a lot of like parents and in their relationship with their child is that they love their child very, 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 very deeply, but they don't really know their child, right? That's why I keep telling parents that they need to understand their child. Now parents seem to like put all children into this one box called child. The label of the box is child. So for them every child is the same. Every child should behave in the same way. So it's like, if your elder sister can behave like this, then why are you behaving like that? If your younger brother can do this, then why can't you do that? If Sharma ji ka beta can do this, then why can't you do this? So it's just like they feel like all children are the same. All children have the same kind of needs. You feed them, you send them to a good school, you give them a bed to sleep in, you put a roof over their heads, you put clothes on their back, and you buy them gifts once in a while, and they think that is enough for the child. So it's like you put sugar cane into the machine and the juice should come out, right? So for them the sugar cane is food, water, shelter, clothes, gifts once in a while, and a expensive branded school. And they think, yeah, now the juice should come. Why is the juice not coming? Oh, I expected sugarcane juice. Why is apple juice coming out of here? Right? So the problem there is that we have to understand children are human beings. Children are not little robots, all put into the same mold. Children are not these little machines that are just programmed and sent out into the world. They are human beings in their own right, which means that there is huge diversity in how children are, in their needs, in their interests, in their desires, in the things that make them angry, in the things that make them sad, in the way they process the world, in their level of sensitivity, in the way they express their sensitivity, in the way they feel things, in the way they express their feelings, in the way they relate with others, in the way they prefer to communicate. There is a lot of diversity. So children's needs are very, 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 very different, right? So if you want to help your child, you really have to understand your child, and that understanding is only going to come from observation. So you can't expect to put in coins and then get rewarded with good behavior if you don't even know what the coins are, right? The same coins are not going to work for every child. The same kind of parenting is not going to work for every child, which is why in the same house you might see that the parents will have their predominant parenting style. One child responds very well to it. The child is happy, well adjusted, no problem. The other child is breaking down, and then the parent is like, what am I doing wrong? The elder one is okay with it. Why is the younger one not okay? The younger one is not okay because it's a different person, and that different person has different needs. So you have to be a different kind of parent to that different person. That's why parenting is such a hard job, because you don't have a manual for it. You can learn the basics of parenting. You can learn how to be an authoritative parent, how to set boundaries in a loving way, how to communicate with children in a way that they'll know, how to manage your own emotions, how to manage your own triggers. You can learn all these things, but still if you want to help your child, if you want to guide your child properly, you will have to observe them. Without that observation, you cannot help them, because if you don't know who the child is, then how are you going to help them? If you look at a person who is dehydrated, in desperate need of water, and you're giving him food, will he be okay with it? No, he needs water. So what happens is, our children might be in dire need of something other than what we are giving them. We are giving them gifts, and they might be in dire need of words of affirmations. They might be, dying to hear some praise from you, but you won't praise them. You'll give them gifts and you'll say, now you work harder. Is that going to help them? No, because that is not exactly what they need at that point. Your child might need boundaries, and you might be giving them extra love and attention. Your child might need extra care and nurturing. They might be going through a very difficult phase in their life, and they need you to cuddle them and kiss them and read books with them and just comfort them, and you are trying to give them a pep talk, all like, yeah, you can do it, go ahead, I am with you. That's not going to help if the child, what the child needs at that point is a bit of comfort, right? So observe your child, understand your child, and then try to help your child. Then you won't have to feel like, oh, I have to fix the flaws in my child, because then you won't see them as flaws. You'll see them as behaviors, and you'll be able to figure out a way to deal with those behaviors. No child is a bad child. There are no bad children in the world. There are only wonderful, amazing, marvelous, perfect children who are going through a tough time. And if you know what they are going through, if you know what they are struggling with, you can help them better. If you don't know what they are struggling with, how can you help them? Observe them, understand them, then try to help them. Don't try to fix them.